While Lakshman stood alert, battling demons and keeping watch over Ram and Sita for 14 long years, he never once closed his eyes. How did he manage such an impossible feat? The answer lies not in the battlefield, but here, far from the chaos, in the palace of Ayodhya. It was Urmila, Lakshman's wife, who made an unthinkable sacrifice, one that kept her away from him, in darkness, for 14 long years. Her story has remained hidden until now. When Ram was banished to the forest for 14 years, Lakshman vowed to follow him, to protect his brother and sister-in-law through every danger that lay ahead. But what about Urmila? Newly married and left behind, what was her fate? Little did anyone know, Urmila was about to make one of the greatest sacrifices in the Ramayana, one that would remain untold for centuries. Urmila made a choice, one no one expected. She prayed to Nidra Devi, the goddess of sleep, asking for something no mortal had ever asked before, to take on Lakshman's sleep for the next 14 years. She begged the goddess to let her sleep, so that Lakshman could remain awake, never once resting his eyes as he protected Ram and Sita. But would the goddess grant such an extraordinary request? Nidra Devi, moved by Urmila's love, granted her wish. For 14 long years, while Lakshman guarded the forest and fought endless battles, Urmila slept, silently, peacefully, bearing the burden of his rest. After 14 years of exile, Ram, Sita, and Lakshman returned to Ayodhya. The city rejoiced, but one person awoke from a slumber unlike any other. Urmila, having sacrificed 14 years of her life in silent support, finally awoke. Her sacrifice, though unseen by the world, was just as powerful as any battle fought in the forest. Lakshman realized that while he had stayed awake to protect Ram and Sita, it was Urmila who had silently empowered him to do so. Hers was a strength that required no sword, but it was mighty enough to move the heavens. Urmila's story is not just one of devotion. It is the story of silent, unwavering strength. In the epic of Ramayana, hers is a sacrifice that shaped destinies, but remained untold. Let us honor the unsung heroes whose silent sacrifices shaped the greatest stories ever told. Subscribe for more untold stories from the Ramayana and Mahabharata.